Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Code A at the GSL. We are having the last match for today. We are going to see in a few minutes SuperNova against the Squirtle. This is going to be quite a nice one. We have another Terran versus Protoss coming up, and the first map between those two will be Antigua Shipyard. OGS against Startail, SuperNova against Squirtle, Protoss against Terran. Both players are already in the lobby still waiting for the go, and then we will start this match. And I'm really excited to see another Terran vs Protoss today, especially with the SuperNova playing. I have to admit that he impressed me a lot the last few weeks, but Squirtle on the other hand is also a Protoss player that is able to deal with Terran players, and we are getting into the statistics in just a few seconds. The players are ready and we are starting the match. Another best of 3 for today, and this is going to be Antigua Shipyard. If we need a second map, that will be well, we definitely are going to need a second map. Yeah, that was basically a no-brainer. Calm Before the Storm will be the second one, and Crossfire is going to be map number 3 in case it's needed. Here we go, Antigua Shipyard. And at the top, we see in the blue colors, we have the player from Startail. We have Squirtle. And at the bottom right, in the red, our Terran player. This is OGS SuperNova. We can talk a little bit about the statistics for those two players once again, while the build orders are now about to start. Remember, we are in Antigua Shipyard. It is cross position at the GSL, and therefore we can expect expansions from both players fairly soon in the game. I think that Squirtle might even probably go for the barracks and then follow that up with an expansion, while SuperNova obviously also has the option of going with an Nexus first. But let's talk a little bit about the Terran player. SuperNova, he had 22 games in this matchup, and competitive games that is. He won 13 of them, therefore has a win ratio of 59%. The last games that he played against Protoss, he was able to take out Vines in Code A with 2-0, and he took him down at the King of the Hill of FX Open as well. He lost to Mentalist though, so the last games that he played in this particular matchup, he won most of those maps, 3 or 4. And his opponent at the top right, gas by the way, for SuperNova. It's not looking like he's going for a fast expansion. This is gas for the Terran player, while SuperNova is starting with that Nexus first. Already talked about that. Squirtle is running the Nexus first. I'm a little bit confused right now. I'm very sorry for that. I have in front of me basically my homework, my statistics that I just checked before I started the games today, and yeah, therefore small one. Squirtle against Terran. He has 53% win ratio, 21 wins and 19 losses. He lost against Teja at the ESV Korean Weekly with 2-3. He lost against Scalp as well at the GSTL, and further back he lost against Puma in the first season of the NASL. So right now I have to say that even though Squirtle's record against Terran is not all that bad, the last matches that he played in this matchup didn't end in his favor, and he needs to make something happen in order to change that. On the other hand, SuperNova with the factory, he's apparently going for a Banshee build. He only has one refinery though. He only has one refinery so far. He's getting a tech lab right now at his barracks. This is kind of interesting as well. And yeah, let's have a quick look at that. This looks like a 1-1-1 build by SuperNova. But let's have a quick look on the main base and the expansion of Squirtle. His Nexus finished already. One gas still for the Protoss player. Cybernetics copy build, producing double probes and using the chrono boost on his Nexus. At the same time, we have SuperNova with 19 SCVs. Main base, he is still getting SCVs, is placing down additional mules. Started with the first Hellion and Marauder as well with a concussive shell. He's not going for a starport, he's going for a Hellion Marauder push. Oh, this is pretty interesting. So far, Squirtle doesn't have too many units, and he's going to scout with 2 zealots, and those 2 will die. Those 2 will die if he is engaging his opponent's army, because the Marauders are already able to use concussive shells, and yep, this is what's going to happen. They don't deal a lot of damage at all. Both of them should now die to the Marauders. Yes, doing a nice job with his micro in order to slow them down. He's pulling SCVs as well. Is now going for a straight out attack. At the same time, Squirtle is just planning down 2 additional gateways. They won't change in time. Warp gate technology is not done just yet. He's chrono boosting it again, trying to squeeze out additional stalkers, but there is just nothing that can save that expansion if SuperNova is going to execute that push properly. He already has 2 Hellions to help him, not only with the zealots, but also with probes, and now just taking out some of the workers of his opponent and killing that Nexus. Nope, Squirtle won't be able to hold that one. At the same time, Terran player is expanding. We have him with that bunker in position, and it's just now killing the shields on the Nexus. Squirtle is still trying to get enough units in order to deal with that situation. He has 3 warp gates, is now going for gateway as well. Let's have a look at the harvester count. That's 31 against 28, and that Nexus is already dead. Trying to contain the Protoss player at the same time, expanding, and he is doing a really good job. SuperNova with that early push against Squirtle is already getting ahead in this game. At the same time, the Terran player plants down another refinery, is getting additional production buildings and researching a stim. At the same time, there's 1 bunker with a bunch of units, but that's all there is to the contain of SuperNova, just trying to delay that expansion a bit. And oh, he will have no, he's not going to cancel that, but the Hellion in the back is attacking the Zealot as well, and he might be able to kill more units now, just trying to focus down his opponent's Zealot. That expansion is going to finish, but we already have the second command center for SuperNova. He is just now finishing his orbital command, finishing that tech. In the back there's 1 pylon that should be scouted by SuperNova in just a second. Yep, killing it, and Squirtle already lost so much stuff in the main base of the Terran player. We have another upgrade going for the reactor, another add-on. Engineering bay is getting stim, as I've already mentioned, and Squirtle now with the first immortal in production, but he is way behind. He lost 1,150 resources, while SuperNova only lost 425. We have the worker count at 37 in favor of the Terran player. He has 2 mules at that, and this is just horrible in terms of economy what Squirtle has to face right now. He's cancelling his Nexus, he's just going for an attack, he's just trying to squeeze out Immortals, just trying to build up an army that is able to take down SuperNova. That's the only chance he has right now. Let's have a quick look at the army supply. 39 for the Protoss player, 26 for SuperNova. And will he fall for that mind game of Squirtle, or will he be able to defend against that push? There are 3 bunkers. 3 bunkers already. He's getting more and more Marauders, getting the +1 attack. He has Stim, he has the first Medivacs. He's getting a 4th bunker as well, and that attack is bound to fail. But oh, 51 army supply, that's 34. Having 1 immortal in the army will help him a lot, but 4 bunkers are a lot. There are also a lot of SCVs in order to repair them. Placing down 2 additional ones, 3 additional bunkers. I don't see Squirtle win that fight, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Protoss player is walking up the ramp, trying to approach that army, taking down the first bunker and focusing down the second one, being repaired by one of the SCVs. Oh my god, Squirtle might be able to do it after all. There are a lot of units for the Protoss player, and the Terran has to pull SCVs as well. Those 2 Immortals still live. He's trying to focus down. One of them is targeting that Immortal down, but at the same time SuperNova is losing a lot of SCVs. 60 supply from the Terran player, 54 for Squirtle. Backs up just a tiny little bit, needs to reinforce his army. There are more force fields being placed down by the Protoss player, but at the same time the bunker in the back they are finished, and therefore SuperNova trying to get back into those in order to deal with his opponent's army. The Medivac dying. The Medivac dying, and with 19 LCDs to 24 probes, the harvester count is about to be even. Those two mules will do a lot of good for the Terran player right now. That's basically what keeps him alive. And there comes Squirtle once again, tries to attack up the ramp. 3 bunkers building a 4th, a lot of Medivacs. The Bioforce of SuperNova should be able to deal with this. And here comes Squirtle. The Immortal is immediately being targeted down by the Terran player. He needs to do that in order to keep his Marauders alive. But all those force fields doing a number on the Terran player, and Squirtle might be able to pull it off after all. No, he isn't. Squirtle is typing GG, and SuperNova wins the first map. With a nice push, he was able to kill the expansion of his opponent, and Squirtle was forced to attack. Started to play some mind games, threw down another Nexus and tried to make his opponent believe that he was going to expand once more, cancelling it and just building up a huge army in order to destroy SuperNova right away. And it was a close call, but in the end SuperNova, with all those bunkers that he built and his micro, was able to defend against the forces of his opponent. Had to pull his SCVs and lost a lot of them in the process, but in the end he was able to prevail. He beat Squirtle on Antigua Shipyard, and the second game will take place on Calm Before the Storm. SuperNova against Squirtle. The players are now getting ready, and we are starting the game. SuperNova is ahead with 1-0 against Squirtle, and this is going to take place on Calm Before the Storm. And there are a couple of facts that we still want to mention as well. We already talked a little bit about the statistics of those two players. Actually, Squirtle was struggling a little bit lately, but in terms of mere statistics, he's actually being the favorite player, which obviously